everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Let's Be Telepathy, formerly Let's Be Now. Still the same idea. We're here with Noah. Adriana, join us later. Non-speakers with autism that have amazing gifts of telepathy, communication, healing, and more. We have many guests with us today, and we're all connected. They all have stories, and they can all assist with the communication. I'm just here with the letterboard to kind of fill in where needed, but take it away, Melissa. Oh, what we're going to do, I'm sorry. Kathleen Whitehead, she's going to be doing some light language, and this is something you may have seen on Melissa's video a few years ago, where Melissa or Kathleen was on our show or on our segment where we were first explaining telepathy. She had an amazing connection with Adriana initially and has grown into a really good friend. And I really want to share her beautiful light language with you. So take it away, Kathleen.
Thank you. This intention of this light language is to increase love on the planet and for peace and calm. Dia tata ni ma tu kutu si ti dalia na ma iskata ai ya da ini nia ha ya tata ile na ya ta ka she da dai ta nia da dai ga si nia da ta pate te I ate de be ata kete a se ti tiana da ka se ti ti ata pa ai ta ata ma ete diga a ha yalaya makato se tia damaneti ba te nenia tata peketi ti niana peteti a si kitia daba ha ale etia. Thank you for allowing us to gift you with that.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. My hands and my head were tingling on that. I love it. So today on Let's Be Now was kind of an emergency, or Let's Be Telepathy was an emergency meeting, as Noah yesterday just wanted to connect to so many different people. We had a meeting on the telepathy and with our conscious community led by two Carolines, actually, and one of them we have here today. But I wanted to jump right in and introduce you all to a special guest we have today. His name is James. I just recently met him yesterday. I know the Smiths have seen him before, and I just want to tell a quick story. I saw him yesterday on our meeting and immediately saw Adriana right behind him, and she was just so excited. This is my person. This is my person. And as all of you know, I do a lot with I do it with other people, but Adriana's never felt she had a person, and now she feels she has a person with James. I wrote Sharon right away and said, is this your guy? Because she is just excited. And she said yes. And he did not know, and he couldn't see that I was writing this in text behind him. And when he was talking, Adriana was behind him, and he said, yeah, I work with Adriana, right after Sharon had confirmed that. So I know he's real. I know he's special. They have a lot of messages, and Noah wants to work through him too today. So he'll be working with two like I do. And I'm just going to take it right away to James. So James, if you want to introduce yourself and just let us know what they want to say. Now, prior to the...
Okay.
Oh, sorry. If you want to also ask the question of what Noah had asked prior to us hitting record.
Okay. There's something with the signal here in my house. I think I jumped out. I didn't hear. There was a part of it that cut out. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. And Noah's still saying XO,
Okay.
XO, so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So my connection with Adriana is through a parallel life that we're experiencing right now. And in that parallel life, we are two kids taking a journey down a road. And it seems,
Oh, we lost him for a little bit there.
Yeah, Noah says I asked.
yeah, something's going. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, something's going on with the cell phone signal here. All of a sudden, um, maybe there was a window. I'm not sure. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I can't see, and now you're getting frozen. Okay. Okay, there comes everybody. Okay, all right. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm there or if I'm not.
You are here. And with
Am I?
this energy work, as people know that are involved with the energy work, and maybe some of you at home don't know, when we're doing energy work, when we're speaking telepathically, it's really running through energy. And when there's big surge or a lot of information that needs to come through, it will actually mess with the energy that we have in our homes and our computers and anything that has any kind of electricity whatsoever, because it is the same electricity that we use to do a hair dryer or to start our lights. That same energy is what we utilize in energy work. And so this is what James is going through right now as they're funneling through him. He's getting overpowered with some of this energy. And
that makes sense, because Noah wrote, I'm asking a really tough question. Can you hear me? So I think he's sending directly to.
Yeah, I can. He is. I'm actually turning on a different device.
Yeah, that's what we did. We couldn't get his iPad going yesterday, and the battery's just draining, and I've checked everything. So something's going on.
Well, there is a big interruption in the frequencies for sure that is going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn off my video and see if that will support just voice better. With James, feel into if everyone can feel into that better connection.
Yep, I love that idea. I love that idea.
Still yourselves. Still yourselves and allow us all to. That's what the synthesis of it all is about. Let's see if I can turn my video back on.
Well, we can switch over to Carol while you do that,
because I mean,
for the listeners at home.
It's already.
Did he get it? Yeah. Caroline, we're going to switch over to you. What has been going on with you and Kyle since last night's meeting or yesterday's meeting?
Well, I always would like him to join, but he always wants to watch the television. So that was because we do it from another room, I think. But anyway, yeah, he was writing on bits of paper when I came back in after the meeting. He was just writing Noah, cousin, friend, Noah, cousin, friend, in sort of various different order. And, Kyle does often sort of go, Noah, like America. So I mean, I don't. Yes, you're writing now, aren't you, Kyle? So, I don't have that connection. Obviously, Noah. That's right. It is Noah, Kyle. So I don't have that connection like you do, Melissa. And it comes in dreams for me, and and things like Kyle channels songwriting to me. But so I don't get in the sort of highway like you guys do. But yeah, I think Noah was talking to Kyle, or vice versa, or they were both speaking. I don't know, but yeah, he's been obsessing. He was obsessing last night, and he's been obsessing today. And when I got Sharon's text message from Noah's phone to say, "Would you like to join?" I said, "Yeah, totally," because I would love to hear what Noah was actually, what conversations that Kyle and Noah were having last night. So that's kind of our our update, really.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, they were having a great conversation about how they wanted, first of all, to meet up, how they are definitely a spirited family that is existing and that is coming together. They want to be more physically together. I know that because there's something that energetically is going to happen if they were able to physically get together. And I know that that's with a lot of the other people that are around, is that he was showing we need to be there for each other. The reality, our reality versus their reality. And I don't want to say that they're different, but in some ways they really are, is they're starting to merge. It's becoming a little bit more uncomfortable with them as they're getting closer to explaining to humanity. And I also know the other side is we're going to come through and we're going to be experiencing a lot more spiritual things that are going to be scary, and that we are going to look into their reality a little bit more, so that they'll have to explain it, but it's going to be a little bit scary for us. There's this yin and yang that's coming together. I do want to channel for them after we get a hold of James. I think James just came back on. So Noah was really pressing with a question for him, and then we'll come back if that's okay. But I just wanted to make sure James got on okay. So James, if you can hear us.
I'm here. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We can hear you. Yep.
Okay. There's a lag for me. So I'll ask for patience. Yes, earlier Noah had a question about red flags and something else. So if I can see Noah visually, I have to wait for the camera to come back on. Sut urbadia arma ninkea satanoa nanankia kumnan irbatia satarania. Mamangiak aro urbadia ur satanin. Mangia, what is it? No.
Are you still there, James? We are losing him. Okay. Kirsten, do you do telepathy with Noah? Because he's looking at you and talking to you. So what is your affiliation here with Noah?
Couple of years ago, and that was the first time that I really connected with somebody telepathically, was with him. It was in a seminar, group seminar, and it was really surprising. I was like, oh shit, I hear what he's saying. And he wasn't moving his mouth, and so we connected that way, and I've worked with him on several things. Like my dog was not feeling well, and I asked him and Adriana to help with her. And so we did, we worked like telepathically together to do that. And they gave me some hints on things that I could do. So it's actually easier for me if I don't see him to hear it. Like if I'm just, at my house and he's wherever. So I don't do it the same as you do, but I do get it. And he keeps telling me, it's like, you could do this, you could do this. And I'm like, can I? I don't know. So I'm still, it's new for me to try to do it. But we have worked together several times, or many times actually. And Brandon, the Kalen, I think is his last name. One time when I was talking to Adriana and Noah, he came in, and I'm like, I had met him in person, but I had never connected that way with him. So that was kind of amazing too, to see that and feel that. And, the thing that I'm getting now is like I was hoping that we could, if we all sort of set the intention for James's internet connection or whatever to be stabilized and strong, that we could get him back on. I sure loved hearing him uh, channeling for or Adriana and stuff. And I feel like that can work. And I was just sort of concentrating on that, on holding the space for the connection, and I guess for the connection for all of us, being in that calm, like James was saying, being in the calm. And I think that's one of the things that I was feeling, and I'm kind of getting the urge to tell y'all now is when he was talking about or when you were talking, Melissa, about the attacks, the psychic attacks, and how that there's a great sadness, and I could really feel that. And I think that part of what we can do as helpers is to um, share the burden of the sadness with them, like take on a little bit, because I'm more in control of my body than they are in my understanding, and I have a better um, or it's easier for me to ground that and transmute that energy, so I can take a little bit of that burden from them. That's the sadness, sometimes the overwhelming emotion, and I think that the more of us, try to do that, or I think we can really help lift that burden and make it easier for them, because they have so much amazing work to do, and they need our support. And I think we can do that. And I always like to work with the rock, so I'm going to them with, it's like, okay, help me take on some of the sadness, some of the scariness, and transmute it and into the earth, into the ground, because Mother Earth can take care of a lot for us if we just tap into her strength. And I guess that's kind of all that's coming through for me right now. Thank you.
I think that was wonderful. So I want to give other people a chance to get on here, but I know Noah and Kyle just had this important message. Noah, you guys talked about so much last night. Can you give me a specific subject that you want to talk about, what you spoke about? Can you write that with your mom? Sharon, I'll ask you to unmute here.
Adriana is like really upset. I mean, you saw her in there, she's
Yeah.
spitting, and it's like, so I told her trying to help, control the airways for James, and I think she's just frustrated. So I think she's trying to connect directly with him, maybe, and find out where. Yes. Very good, Mom. Thanks. Okay, now what are you supposed to ask there? So. Bring the energy to her. Oh, to calm. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm bad at asking for things. Yes, please send some energy to Adriana to calm her, and hopefully that'll help her James back on too. They do have that huge connection.
Yeah, she's talking about the same thing. I mean, they've really kind of been in the last month talking about different kind of attacks that have been coming on them. Now this is coming through hard wires, electricity and frequencies. This is also coming on the spiritual side, and it's coming in through their body. It's really getting hard to deal with the autism, but also it's a bit easier to deal with the autism with people around. Noah, is there a specific subject? So last night, I know him and Kyle talked about how do we actually teach telepathy? How do we know when people are faking versus not faking? How do we, they were talking about just bringing the community together, you know, almost like a big autism festival, and bringing them together and allowing all of all of that community to be a surge of energy. Okay, I got it. I know what he wants to talk about.
He said XOXO. So is
Yeah.
it just as simple as the love, the touch, the hugs and kisses, and
Yeah.
more than that? Yeah.
Noah, do you want me to talk about the energy surge that you guys were talking about when you come together? Is that the subject to talk about?
Yes, or at least
Okay.
one of them, because that was kind of a
Well, because
hesitant.
he has so many.
Yeah.
But this is something big. If we can get a bunch of us together and we can be in the same spot, when then we can all come together and be able to project our energy and our love, so that we as a team will be able to elevate the consciousness of humanity into a place that they would be able to understand us and feel us, whether they know that we're doing it or not. There would be a ripple effect that people would understand and they would feel. Right now, there's a lot of people that are trying to connect to us, and a lot of people that are trying to get information from us, and they're not going to be real. And we need to start focusing on who is real and who isn't real, and how do we bring that to the community. But how do we help the real? Okay. And then he's also going to conversation. So Elsa must have joined in with him and Kyle too, or him and Kyle, of how do we feed through this reality and get rid of it? And how do we end up making a reality where all of us, it's through Kyle. Okay. Kyle. Awesome. Can I speak for, is Kyle there? Kyle, is it okay to speak for you?
Good. Yes, he said good, Melissa.
Okay. So Kyle has been trying to bring music and trying to bring information to people. Okay, I'm going to go in for Kyle. Yes, music is the way. And I've tried to show people that music is the way. It's not a festival, Melissa. It's a concert that we're trying to show, where many of us are there. I want to sing and I want other people to sing. There's certain tones that we can play with in the music, and there's certain tones that we can play with in our mouth that can actually change the reality. If we learned how to, sorry, Kyle, I spoke wrong. He was showing me. So he said, if you, but I said me, I apologize for that, Kyle. He said, if you knew the power of music and the power of frequency like we do, then you would be able to help us in stopping the harmonization of humanity that has imposed itself on our reality that exists as we are in this above ground level, that there are frequencies and subliminal messages that are going out through all the electricities, and it's not just electrical lines. It is actually in the air because it permeates through everything. And what we would like to do is change that, and it would just take a movement, a literal movement of going all around the world and hosting concerts where we played the music that harmonized and stabilized everybody. We said the words that needed to be said, and then we have mass community sending love, sending the want and need and desire, prayers of connection, so that we can all come together. We already have a way to do this. We just need you to all come with us and help us on this journey. We can do it, and it is going to be as simple as putting it through music. We're going to bring the people that are stuck in a subliminal messaged reality, and we're going to switch their brain back to its normal reality. And we can do this. We know how. We just need your help. It is uncomfortable where we're at right now because we are being attacked. We're being attacked by the frequencies, and we need to focus on that. That no matter what the thing is that people call it, whether it is demons, whether it's bad energy or bad thoughts or whatever you would consider bad, it all comes down to just frequencies, and that's what it is, a frequency, an unharmonized frequency. That's what anything is that is evil, unharmonized frequency. And the cool thing about that is once we realize how we can change the frequency, then we can get that unwanted frequency out. It would be as simple as showing, I'm going to speak for myself just a little bit as he's showing it. The way that he showed it was as though teaching kids in choir classes or teaching kids in band classes to harmonize with those around them. And he believes that if we set out the right frequencies, it will cushion them enough, and the right words will cushion them into that place of safety. I'm going to go back into him. I also do want to say that so many people are trying to get on a high level we're at these high frequency vibrations, and your low frequencies. I have to let the world know that all are needed. And sometimes the safety is in the low frequencies because our brain is not functioning as much. And so therefore it allows us for our spirit to speak louder. And so please know that all frequencies come at a high and a low, but we just have to find the frequencies that match together like a good song. And once we find that, we'll be able to protect everyone from the disharmonization that is happening in the world. So that's all I got for Kyle. Kyle, do you have anything to say on that, or Noah? That's pretty epic.
Yeah. You happy with that, Kyle? What Melissa said for you? You're good?
He's good.
Yeah, you're good. He's good with what you said for him, Melissa. So, and you know, that is kind of what we've been working on. You know, we're working on some new music, which literally is about harmonics. You know, so his next, EP, we haven't turned it into an album yet, but it is working with like, you know, hertz per second, which creates particular harmonics, and then Kyle's overtoning with them. So that is our project. And we've got a couple of other songs coming out, but you know, we're working on something a bit more, well, one might call it abstract, but actually it's not. It's more of a sort of a sound journey with Kyle's voice. We're just playing with it, you know, we've not complete it, we're just recording bits, you know, sort of in some of the sessions that we have with the music therapist, and then John that we work with down in the studio. You know, this is all new ground for him. I mean, you know, he does indie rock music, so, which is the stuff we've done before, but this is like, you know, we want this now, John, please, you know, we want you to work with us on this level. So, so you're recording artist, you're sort of, your producer has to sort of work with you, and he's pretty good. He's like, I always think he's a bit of a spiritual father to Kyle. I always feel that we, on a soul family somewhere, we've known each other in another time, space. And yeah, so he's pretty cool with Kyle, even though he really doesn't know anything about autism. He always says, I feel like I learn something new every day when we come to the studio. And I work with Kyle in this extraordinary non-verbal way, but Kyle understands all instructions that he's given. But yeah, literally what you were channeling there from Kyle, I had this feeling or this kind of vision there for a second that you really speak to Kyle's soul. So it's like his higher soul self, like, is having a conversation with you. I mean, he's intently gazing at you here physically, but I really felt that that was being streamed from Kyle's, soul self, his bigger self. And I've not had that before with anybody. Not that people do channel for Kyle. I mean, I think you're the only person that's done it. But yeah, just as you were doing that. But so it was almost like, it was almost like his soul was speaking to you about, music, and, the music kind of, intentions that we're feeling called to bring. You know, with it's almost like, I mean, as I said, Carl comes to me in dream time. He comes to me in my dreams, and he makes me, because Mum, you're dreaming. So I go lucid at that point, and then, you know, he'll sing to me, or he'll say, I want a song like this. And then he tells me the words that I've got to remember. And then I wake up and have to write them down really quickly. And then I start putting a song together, and I say, is that what you want, Kyle? And if I've got it wrong, it dysregulates his body. So he kind of, you know, like he reacts in like a dysregulated way. And then if it's what he wants, then he's, you know, he's calm and he's chilled out, and yeah, he gives me eye contact and stuff like that. So it's almost like, you know, if I get it, his body's like a barometer. You know, it's either in frequency or it's not. And that's how I know that I'm going in the right direction. And I don't know if I'm going in the right direction, Melissa. I just have to trust something very beyond myself and my own ideas or something. And if I do get my own ideas in the way, then he does let me know. But yeah, I mean, he loves singing for people. That's, you know, when you're talking about concerts and getting the message out there through music, you know, Kyle, the one thing he loves to do is sing, and it really brings him here to the world, to the earth. You know, it's almost like, I know I've got this body to sing with, even though I'm far away somewhere else sometimes, you know, wherever Kyle is. I don't always know where he is. So yeah. What do you think, Kyle? Good or bad?
It's good.
Yes, good. You're happy with that. Okay.
You do a great job. And he is deeply in love. I mean, he chose you. He knew you could carry this task, and same with Noah's mom and all of the other parents out there. You were given a heavy task, and I think that a lot of times you don't know how much you're appreciated in their world, but definitely you are on the right path. The kind of telepathy that I do is spiritual telepathy. So I have found along the way that there are different kinds. That's the best that I do, is I go and talk to the soul and kind of surpass. So I'm not one that can answer questions as to what time is he going to be there, or, you know, if I'm holding up a card, and they're holding up a card, I can't tell that. Now, there are people that I work with that bring me to a physical place, and I would be able, you know, they could hold up an image and I could explain what that image is, and then I'm feeling their body. It's more of a feeling. And then the mind too. I do have some people that they get into their head, and it's not so much spiritual, and so it's more mental health help. So there are different ways, and I think that people just think telepathy is a one-way ticket, but what you're doing is telepathy. I just do it a little differently than you do.
Yeah.
Same with
Yeah. But I could really feel how you were talking to his soul, or he was talking, you know, it was like soul to soul, that that it was not here, it was somewhere much more expansive than this, you know. And I said, I've not felt that before, you know, because I suppose in my head I've got this idea that it's mind to mind, you know, because telepathy really is quite a limiting word, really, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, and I do feel that's the next, you know, conversations that we'll all be having, that actually telepathy is it's a limiting word, you know, as we expand into these fields of awareness and joining. So yeah, I really felt that, Melissa. I really felt how, you know, how it was somewhere else where you were having that conversation. Yeah, I really got the sense of that. And then Kyle was hot, and then he cooled down. So I get really hot when I know that there's a connection happening, and Kyle was really hot, and now he's completely cooled down. So I guess that's the energy. Yeah.
Absolutely. Noah, what do you have to say? Is there something else that you wanted to bring out, or is there any questions that anyone else may have for Noah, for Kyle, for anyone, or just general speaking that you want to talk on? I know there's many of you here. Jared's here, Mary Ann's here. Yes, Kathleen, Jesse, Kelly, any of you
He
have
said
any?
big feelings. I had to go mute because Adriana was really loud, but now she's calm again. I wish she would come be on screen, but she's definitely here energetically. Let's see, big feelings, zoo of energy. Really calm now. Is that your sister? Yeah, she's really calm now. XO.
So I know Noah yesterday, we do this show, and I don't know what other support we can give. I know we just talked about, and that's a wonderful idea. I mean, the way that I was seeing how him and Kyle were working together was that Noah was doing energy work, and he was, and a lot of others like him was giving that energy work. And then Kyle was bringing that music and that voice and that harmonization that worked with their energy. That just, I mean, if you think of, like a little cartoon where a bomb hit and then it just went, that they were doing that, but it was also a stream of light that that went straight up, and it was amazing because it was from as is below, as is above is below, and that they were getting rid of that energy. And I know, no, what else do you have to say? Or yes, Kathleen, you can bring in anyone, or what does anyone else have to say? You wanted to get Kyle's word out, but also he wants to know how to help.
One, he's working on people because he's working on somebody's job. I felt earlier, he doesn't always let me feel, but if I feel, I'll acknowledge it. And then it's moved to, I guess this would be in my brain that I'm feeling. He fixed one of those for Chantel the other day. So I don't know what the next thing is. Like, what's the next thing I'm going to feel?
Was it the concern for humanity that you guys were talking? Yes. Okay. Thank you, Noah. I have a great concern for humanity right now, because as we step in to all different kinds of realities, it seems as though you guys don't know what reality is real. So as we bring in something that has been so magical or unseen before, how do we get this into the right hands of the people? Right now humanity is as connected as autism, and I hate to separate them, but I have to separate them at some level, because there is the embodiment of the bodies and the energy that's going on with the bodies, and then there's the spiritual energy. And what we've been working on is the spiritual energy, not so much concerned for the bodies, but as we are coming into the time where we are to lead and we are to show people, we have to we're trying to come up with a way that we can comfortably come into ourselves without feeling the extra over exaggerated and overwhelming emotions that those around us feel. And so we need for the people around us and the caregivers around us to really start to try to step in to their own emotions, and to be aware that we're hearing them, we're feeling them, we're acknowledging them. And that, and for you too, Melissa, he's calling me out. You need to be that safe place, and you need to make sure that you're always in that headspace for everyone, because whatever you're thinking, whatever you're feeling is not just yours, it is everybody's. And so if there's one person sad in the world, everybody else is going to be sad. And as we want to come down and we want to be the leaders, we are asking you to be that safe place for us, that calming place, that place of harmonization for us. And pay attention to the things that you're eating, the things that you're drinking, the things that are in the room, the electricity that you're running. If you don't need electricity, open your windows a little bit more and bring in nature, so we're not so stagnant in our energy. Because as everybody is watching TV, as everybody's on the internet, as everybody's talking on their phone and utilizing satellites, it's coming through all of us, and we're not allowing for the energy flow to happen. The separation needs to come back together. But as we come back together, there is a certain entity that is coming and hurting people, and are wanting to hurt people, and they're getting in their thoughts, they're getting in their mind. And so when we come to a place to help, sometimes there's not always that avenue for us. He's showing highway exit. There's not an exit for us to get on to, so we have to keep going by. I'm asking you all, because I don't know, how can we together help humanity come to a place of rest? Because until there's humanity meets a place of rest and then we're kicked out of the survival mode, we can't even start to present this truth to them, because as Kyle said, it's not naturally, their brains aren't naturally, I'm going to go in for Kyle again because Kyle explains it best. With the subliminal messages that are coming out, there's not an avenue for mainstream, I'm going to use the word normal, because he's trying to find a word that, like, what describes humanity, because I'm human, they're human, but what societal's normal. Okay, thank you. Societal's normal has overtaken them with the frequencies. And so we need to find a way to override that, but we can't just do that in music. We have to meet the emotions first. And that's the first thing. We're trying to come up with ways to teach people telepathy, but we have yet to teach them about their own emotions and how to control that. Like we had to learn how to control our body, you have to learn how to control the mind. And that's the first step that we need, because if we don't control, if we don't know, sorry, if each human does not understand how to control their self, they will be controlled by the things around them. And if they are controlled by the things around them, a lot of them are being controlled by things that go against us. So we need to reach the emotional side too. And we need to talk to the soul so that people understand our feelings and not just our words. Noah. Yes, it's about the feelings. It's about what we feel first and what we hear later, what we see later. But the feelings that we feel are more natural to all of us, and when we are on our own and when we're thinking of our own place. With the messages and with the scenes, he's showing the visions, and the visions that you guys are seeing within all of the TVs and the things that you're hearing and the energy that you're going around, you're not able to meet your own emotions at times because you're too busy. And so you won't take time or responsibility or accountability for the emotions that you are going through. And that needs to be addressed first. We need to start addressing these emotions. And that was important in the meeting. James caught that. James knew that everybody had their emotions differently. And he said, calm down. Thank you, Kathleen, for what you had done too, because we needed that harmonization. And as you could see in the beginning, or for those of you who were there, we were all over the place. The harmonization wasn't there. And that was mine and Kyle's point. We had to come to a place where we all came together and we are all listening and we're all talking and we're all putting in the energy. And now we can speak. Now we can feel. Now we can open up for a new reality to happen. That makes sense, Noah. Jared, I'm coming to you. I don't know why you're.
You muted.
Hello. Hi, I found
Hi.
Noah's and Melissa's documentary the other day on YouTube, and it just blew me away. And I felt Noah's energy a couple times, and I've been on this spiritual awakening this past 6-8 months or so, and just really getting connected to my higher self, and all this just resonates a lot with me. So that's why I'm here. So thank you for having me.
And we'll see you when we're near Louisville. We saw you were near Louisville. We're deciding whether we're going to Elizabethtown, which we would normally be doing at the end of the month, but since we just moved, it's like we may wait. And I think Louisville is April. Does that sound right? Whoever goes to Kathleen's been there. Kirsten May, you're more Dayton, Cincinnati, but yeah. Otherwise, you come up and visit us.
That'd be great.
You at your restaurant right now? Jared, you at the restaurant right now? Are you at the restaurant working?
Yeah, I'm a personal chef, so I'm in my kitchen. I'm a private chef for a couple. So yeah, I got some bread in the oven, so I had some downtime.
Well, Noah says welcome. He feels you and he felt you feel him. And that's why we had to stop, as you were just a great, beautiful safety place for him to be. And he is very happy that you're here. And you will be a big testament to the power of the growth of telepathy with him as you start to feel him more. And he's working through you on some emotional things. He's pointing to the leg, so maybe something in the leg or knee that he also wants to help with stability on. But he's thanking you for being here.
I thank you, Noah. Thank you. Much appreciated.
James, you're back. You're with us. We got the nice calm energy, and we just talked all about that and had a great organization. So we're going to let you back in here, James.
Well, maybe that was the only reason I was supposed to come, just to calm the energy and then, and then head out. Because I was like, all right, I keep watching here and it's like, all right, my dog wants to go for a walk. Well, let's just go for a walk. And then as my eyes glanced, I went, oh shit, the signal's back. So let me see. Oh my gosh, what a day, what a day, what a day. And and it's the beautiful thing of it is it's all in harmony. Everything is always, always, always happening in such beautiful divine orchestration. But now immediately when I come back, there's a question, Noah. Sudu urmaniak matsik ira tsitikaram normanian. Nanangeak Noah. Nadakira suturum niandam urmaniatara sutum. He's a part of him is referred to things like television and broadcasting and propaganda and all those things and watching out for red flags. And Sharon, if we can, Noah, there's a question. Ask him to, if he, because I don't want to speak his question. I'd like him to express it for himself.
Dear, hi, very glad, really want to, there we go, address red flags to be aware of fraud and hackers. That's partly because Facebook was hacked and all that, and it's been an issue. I mean, it really.
So he's told me, he said to me to he reminded me of something I shared just now, with something I shared with other people the other day. He says right now, ask your gut. If you need to know, ask your gut. There is, all of us know, there is so much that is put on social media, that is put out through news outlets. They call it news. I don't really know what that is, the definition of that word is anymore. But there is a power that we all hold, and it is a sense of discernment. And that sense of discernment feeling usually comes in our gut, in that gut feeling. And what he expressed with me was like, just tell them, if you learn to relearn to reconnect with that part of you that has that power of discernment. Because when something new or something is being revealed, everybody wants to grab a piece of the pie of power. So they try and spin something, or they try and just, I call it distort. They distort things. But you can feel that. We have the capability to feel that distortion and that egoic presence just trying to, whatever it is, stake their claim. Like, this is my land, and well, this is my story about whatever it is, and now I'm going to tell it this way, whether it's real or not is irrelevant. And hone in on your ability. Ask your own soul to show you, well, what does that feel like then? If it is a distortion, show me. What does that feel like? I mean, each one of us asking our souls, show me, and our souls will show us. Within minutes or during that same day that you've asked, you'll run across a person, a situation, or a scenario, and there'll be a distortion there, and the soul will go, hello, that's what I'm talking about. It's really not rocket science. It really is things that are instilled within each one of us. Those with autism, those with other wiring differences, wiring, what do you want to call them? Wiring spectrums. They don't have an egoic mind. They don't hold beliefs about things. So that doesn't get in the way. They automatically feel exactly that. And we all have that same capacity. So when you sense a red flag, don't push against it. Just leave it there and move on. Because when you push against it, now you've engaged. So you've given it energy and you've given it power. And that's how things like that grow. Somebody, excuse me, somebody could tell the most awful story about something, whatever it is. Forget just about what we're talking about, but in general, about whatever it is. And the only way that that story, whether it's true or not, gains traction is if somebody listens. And then if that somebody tells somebody else. And if that somebody then tells 2 or 3 other people, and that's how something grows and creates that. My hope is that there is enough of us that will be telling the story, that the reality of the gifts that we all hold, that those with autism have come here to teach us about, that the voices of us who will speak authentically will override all others. And if they don't override, I know that those who need to be connected, the universe will do the work of connecting the dots. Those that need to come into that, need to come into the awareness of these gifts that we all hold, that the autistic folks have come to teach us about, the universe will do that part. But the moment that we let red flags and distorted stories and somebody wanting power and just telling a story and running, what do they call it? Spin. I don't know, something like that. Something they call it spin when they have something on the politics or the news. Oh, here's the spin room. And like, what the hell is that? The first time I heard it, I thought, oh, it's spin class. We're going to get on bicycles. And it's like, nope. It is this distorting and twisting of a narrative. But we all have this beautiful capability within us if we reconnect with it. And as I say in the groups that I participate in and that I lead myself, the only reason we're not there is the beliefs that we hold that would say that we aren't already there, that would say otherwise, that we're somewhere else. Well, I don't know that, or I'm not aware of that. Well, you are, but it's just beliefs that you're holding on to that keep you, that do this. literally, or this, depending on how deep the beliefs are. Meaning, each belief creates a blind spot. And if there are too many beliefs against the reality of who we are, all we get to see is little tiny pieces and parts. And that's what we go by. That we're just those little teeny tiny pieces and parts when we're actually so much more. And that's why in the moment earlier, there is no greater power than synthesis amongst us. If the definition of synthesis in just in terms that I could understand is the unifying of elements to form a whole. That's what synthesis is. So we can use that word. We want to unify ourselves with one another, breathe together. Whenever we come together, let's breathe together. Even if it's just like just 3 breaths, or if the more we breathe together, the more that becomes a commonality, and the more it becomes a common practice for us. Whenever we come into, be it a Zoom room or a physical place, an event, or someone's home, let's take a moment. Yeah, hug it. Oh, how you doing? And all that's really great. Let's take a moment and breathe together and really get in synthesis with each other, because that is so powerful. It is the very reason that nature itself, where humans haven't mucked it up, that nature is so powerful, because nature resides in that synthesis. And so when we do things like this, those red flags, like the good Italians would say, to the red flags, we have our synthesis. We know where we're going. We know the path that we wish to take. So remember that when you come together with someone, the pleasantries are always great, but give yourself a moment to breathe with them, because that starts to really integrate that gut feeling about things. And you may get to that point where you go, oh, it doesn't feel like you're doing so well. Is there something I can help you with? Can I sit and just listen for you, or with you, and things like that. But there is so much power that we can do amongst us that will override anything else that propaganda or media or anything else would say. So, Adriana also had a question. I don't know if she has come back to the group. Is she there, Sharon?
She's in the other room. I'll see if I can get Joe to go get her.
I just heard her.
This is interesting with Noah, because he's doing healing right now, right?
Yes, he is.
Because it's like he's almost
he was just like, James, just keep talking. Just keep talking. Just keep talking. Because there's something interesting to be aware of, guys. The sound of your voice, any of us, the sound of our voices is a thread through which vibration can be expressed. And that means a vibration that I might hold, a vibration that he may want to share. I'm telling you, the capacities that we hold, we've got all these beliefs that are doing this. So we're looking through these little bitty holes at little pieces and parts of us. There is so much to be revealed and shared. And when we come into that awareness, somebody that starts with a J, Jesse Shea, or is it Jessie or Jeannie Rose?
Jeannie.
No, it's Jeannie. There's some. What is it, Noah, with Jeannie? He says left arm. Is there something with your left arm, Jeannie?
Me? No.
I'm sorry?
No, there's nothing with my left arm, but I just wanted to pop on and say thank you for all this sharing. I had an amazing day at the beach. I've been going down there and floating. And well, yesterday I went to the beach and it was really choppy. And so anyway, I did some yoga, and then I felt called to go into the water and just to call the water to calm down. And it actually worked. The water calmed, and I was able to float on the water. And then I went back out of the water, and the water started
Thank you. Thank you. Oh,
crashing down again. And I thought, wow, you're so right there about the power of our voices and our intention and just connecting to source and spirit. It's such a powerful reminder.
hold on, guys. I'm sorry? Yes, it is. And I asked him to let me know when you were coming. I'm in the middle of a meeting.
Noah said, dear friend. And so I'm seeing where the rest of that went. Dear friend. Oh, cool to hear your voice. Have you felt Noah before?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Yeah, I think when I came across Melissa's post and just hearing Melissa's talk, interpret or speak for Noah.
Yeah.
All those words just really clearly resonated with me. It's so true. You know, we are all one in all of this craziness that we're experiencing now, and really to embrace. And that darkness is to bring us, the light and the truth in our lives personally and collectively. So I just, felt a real awakening in my soul level. And there's such a peace about what, Noah was saying. So on that level, I feel like, we recognize each other.
That's beautiful. He says he was actually with you at the ocean. He loves visiting the ocean. So maybe that was a part where you were feeling he recognizes too that you saw the angels around you. So you might have seen sparkles around in your eyes or something, but he said the angels were with you too and you felt them. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it was amazing also. I mean, I was so disappointed getting to the beach, and then I thought, I just had this overwhelming sense, like when you just give birth, that you feel, it feels a bit sort of surreal and unreal. But I walked in the water and I just had this amazing sense that no, and I put my hands forward and I just calmed the water down. And it was like a spiritual moment. And then I went and I floated on the water and it was just ethereal, it was like being somewhere else. So what I have been doing, and I've been listening to your various podcasts, I haven't been able to catch them live. And I've just been preparing myself when going into that dream state of going into another realm, like to go into that other world. Because I think, through the senses of smell and all of that, and just putting on different bowl singing music, various frequencies, we can enter into that space easier. Not that it's not possible to do normally, because I've had dreams and all that, but to actually consciously seek it. And it's been very inspiring talking to you about combining that this dream world with your world in the real world, if you like. I don't know what you want to call it, like to mold the two together so that what we're doing in the real, and I do that when I'm driving. I'm very conscious of the spiritual world when I'm driving, and it's almost like everything around me is, and I know which way to go. I'm very directed in that way, but to be more active in all aspects of my life, to do that, to bring that dream world from what I can see in the spirit and who I meet in the spirit into the reality. And honestly, it's quite amazing who I meet too. There's all this synchronicity, if you like, is happening because of that. So I'm really very honoured that we met through doing that interview with you on cancer and recovering. It's like we were meant to meet and we never stopped talking, which I will stop talking now, otherwise we'll take over.
Okay, if I could, I'm sorry. There's a person that came to the door. The message about your left arm was about, hold on a second. Let me go in here. Okay, you can stay out there. Ani, come. Ani, come. Sorry, guys.
No, you're okay, James. We're just gonna
Ani,
we try.
Ani.
Oh, I'm gonna
Okay.
mute for a bit here.
Wow. Okay, so the message that Noah was referring to about it was, it's about, because your left side is your receiver side.
Okay.
And so there is, he was doing some clearing. There's something about an expansion that you are seeking to receive more. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, look, I have a small curvature in my spine that I'm working on, and it is my
Okay.
left side that there's a weakness to, so I'm strengthening
Okay.
that. It wasn't my left, so I think I got thrown when you said left arm, but yes, I'm using my left side and building strength on that.
Yeah.
So that's why with scoliosis, Melissa, we talked about that in that interview and how you cured that.
Yeah.
So I'm building strength there physically, but
Yeah.
I think it's interesting what you're saying about receiving. And
So there was an event when you were 7 years old. What happened? An event in your life.
when I was 7 years old, I moved house, but 6 years old, I came to Australia. I can't think of anything in particular going back that
There was
far.
something that occurred that altered your capacity or your capability of focus on receiving, and that's what's weakened the left side of your body.
Okay.
Because what happens was, when the brain creates the synapses, and the synapses then sends the messages through the body. And if it sends it long enough, it then begins to recreate the body in a different way. And so there is a belief that was formed around that move. I don't know.
Yeah,
Only
it's a long
just
time
taking.
ago. Trauma stored in the body, is that what you're saying? Something
No, not less. Trauma is a decision of through which to see an event. It's a belief that you hold that was created during that move. And that's what Noah's working on right now.
Okay.
He's trying to, it's as if he's just working through the density that's there, so that strength that you're seeking becomes automatic again.
Yeah.
Because our bodies do have all the strength we need. It's only when we create the beliefs, and then we just make that disconnect through the power that we hold within us, that the weakness or ailments or things like that can begin to occur.
Yeah.
Is there anything in your left, and excuse me, in your, okay, well, I see you get the first thing, your right foot.
It's
Something about, go ahead.
my left foot. I'm also
Your right
working
foot.
on my right foot. No, not my right foot, but I think I did have an injury. I did have an injury when I was about 11 in both feet.
Okay. There's something about moving forward. Something about moving forward. That's part of the weakness in the body. This fear of a natural evolution.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna move on from this, just because we're coming into almost an hour and a half. So this is gonna be really long for the podcast that's gonna be playing and everyone else. so I'm going to turn off the recording if you guys want to go ahead and continue to talk. There was one thing added. One question was for James. James, were you here when Kyle was talking?
No,
Okay.
no.
And I didn't think so. Him and Noah were actually talking about deception and the frequency and the harmonization and that stuff. So it was interesting
Okay.
what you spoke on, because that just affirms what you were saying. Also, while you were talking about not pushing, Noah kept pointing me to my little pendulum here, and that was a great point too that he also wanted to bring, is that you know, wait. There's going to be a waiting period for a lot of us, so we don't need to think we need to do everything now, because what's being done is being done with telepathy tapes and stuff, so we can all sit back and relax, but start building your platforms and everything, so when it does fall on you. But as you were saying, don't push. You know, we have to push this softly, because if we come at people and we say this is absolute truth, what we're doing, what the community is going through, is this way, we have to be able, you know, as Kyle and Noah were saying, to come to their emotions, because if we just come at them and we say this is real, we're really going to start a big pendulum swing, and we don't want too much swing or fight on or resistance on the other side. So meeting them at their emotional levels and where they're at, so that we can kind of swing together and learn each other's way, is going to be the things that's going to harmonize us the least, and leave us under, you know, the least amount of per se attack. Because when we are pushing like this is the attack, when they're trying to come into their body, when we're trying to leave, or when we're trying to do anything that's not in harmonization, that it's going to start to affect both sides. And if we get to a place where we can just work together, we don't have as much sound and noise and separation. He was even showing the disconnect of saying we need to tell the truth to come back. So I wanted to touch on those. Did anyone else have any questions before we say goodbye to our audience? No? Okay. So Sharon, I'll let you sign off, and then I'll
Thanks everybody for joining us. Let us know if you'd like to be on an episode, or if you have a topic, questions, anything.
And we'll see you again next time on Let's Be Telepathy. Bye.